Hello, welcome to my second C# tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to write a basic Hello World program in Visual C# 2010. So when you open up Visual C# for the first time, you will probably see the start page. On this you've got the option New Project, so go ahead and click on that to make our project. We are going to choose a console application. They're not the most visually appealing applications to make, but they allow you to learn about variables and things that you'll actually really need whenever it comes to actually programming in C# and making applications. So this is the best place to start at a console application rather than designing Windows and stuff. So first of all, you're going to go down to the name text box here and you're going to name it Hello World, and OK. So now it's creating a project, and it's creating all the files and folders that you'll need, and it's also creating this source file program.cs, and it's giving you a template to use and to work from. Okay, so hang on. Right, it's loaded now. So we're just gonna go ahead and explain a wee bit about this. Whenever originally programmers were writing code to build their programs, they had to write a load of code each time just to get the program working. So what they did was, instead of them having to write it over and over again each time they write a program, they put it in a file and allowed you to call that file and import that file into your program. So that's what these using statements are for. Here, these are just importing, well, namespaces for you to so you don't have to write a load of code each time you want to program. Simple as that. You will get to know the different namespaces that you need. However, most of the main ones are already imported whenever you create a project. It gets the main one for you. So don't worry about those for the minute. They'll automatically be written there. Okay, so next thing you've got is a namespace. A namespace contains your classes, your program classes, and it's just another way to structure your programs. You need a namespace for it to work, but just simply write namespace, give it a name. In this case it's the name of our project, and then open the curly brackets. Now, anything between this curly bracket and this curly bracket is in the namespace body. So all this here, this class and this method, are in the namespace body. So that's pretty much how you start a namespace body, and that's how you end a namespace body. Just remember, if you open a curly bracket ever, you need to close it. It sounds complicated, but it's just a really good way of structuring your programs, and it makes things really easy whenever you're using different methods and stuff, which we'll come to later. The next thing you'll notice here is class, and we've got to give it a name, program. A class is just, again, another body of code which holds methods. If you've ever used BASIC, a method is the same as a function. It's just another name for it. But yeah, create a class. You have to have a class. Classes contain methods. You have to have a class if you want to have methods, and you give it a name, and then open your class body and then close your class body, and then anything in between those, well, is where you put your methods. Sounds complicated, but it's really simple once you actually start using them, and as we go along the tutorials it'll become much more obvious what they are used for. Okay, so here's the main bit. This is a method. Okay, a method is pretty much where you write your code for your program. It contains it. So to create a method, or well, to start your program, C#, whenever it's compiled, looks for a method called main. It's just a starting point for the program. Whenever it finds a main method, that's where it knows to start. So we need to create a main method. In this case it's already been created for us, but let's just explain what these do. You mightn't understand this too well yet because you don't know about variables and stuff. So static is just pretty much telling it that it's going to be an executable method. Void is a return type. You won't know what that means yet because you haven't done variables, well, unless you've been programming before. But void just means we don't want to return anything. It's as you see here in the description, specifies a return value type for a method that doesn't return a value. In some methods you can return like a number 10 now, and that would be int up here instead of void, but we can't use return because we're not returning anything. You'll understand that once we come to variables very soon. The next thing is the method header or the method name, and we'll have to give it a method called main in this case because this is where we're starting. Main, capital letter, because it's case sensitive. And then open your parentheses or your brackets and close them. Inside your parentheses, this is the parameters or the arguments that the method can use. In this case, it's string just means text. It holds letters, and these two square brackets things, this just means it's an array. You won't know what that means unless you've programmed before, but we'll come to that later. And then this is the variable name. Sounds real complicated, but trust me, it's really simple. Okay, so let's go ahead and write a simple hello world application. So just go ahead and copy this code in and I'll explain it after. Okay, so the best way for me to explain what's going on here is to run it and show you. First of all, you'll notice this hello world written across the top, and then this here waiting for us to press a key till it continues, and then it closes. Simple as that. I'm just going to save this. Okay, so console.writeLine is just a way of printing text to the console. Like it says, console, this is where you're printing to. It's also it's a class, but we'll come to that later. So it's console.writeLine. This is saying you're writing a line to the console. Simple as that. This here, console.readKey, is saying in the console we want to wait until a key is being pressed. You want to read input from the keyboard, and it really is as simple as that. So that's your first hello world program. Try changing the text and experimenting a bit, and so you can understand what the code exactly does. But this is everything for my second tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're gonna look a bit about possibly variables. We'll see. Thanks for watching.